Hey guys, trust you're well. Been talking to a few people in the last week, particularly around working so many hours a day. Now there's the component of work where you're setting up the jobs in the morning, getting ready for the work, then you're working all day on the tools or running the guys, and then you have that work at the end of the day. You're invoicing, getting your quotes out, checking your invoices, looking at all the invoices that are coming in, planning, reviewing everything. And that can take 2, 3, 4, 5 hours every night. And for the most part, the guys that I'm talking to that are running small teams are getting exhausted. But they also understand the value of hard work. What I'm saying, I'm not saying hard work isn't important, and I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard. What I'm saying is there's another way. What if you could just work hard on the areas that make you the money and get those other tedious tasks done while you're at work, either doing your sales, doing your marketing, or running your jobs more efficiently? That's a much better way to do it. Oh, excuse me, my leg is killing me. Oh, it's so there's a principle that I learned a long time ago called leverage. Now, leverage in business is a part of leverage is delegation, not abdication. So back in between 2006 and 2007, I hit a point in the business where I was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, just trying to keep up. And I looked ahead into my future and I went, I cannot do this for another 20, 30 years. I can't keep this pace up. It didn't help I wasn't very healthy, because with overworking and overstress and overwhelm comes bad habits. I lived off ice breaks every morning. It's pie, sausage rolls to and from work. Crap during the day, because I didn't have time to actually look after myself, just eat whatever's around. So I just looked at myself, physically I'm not going to make it, mentally I'm not going to make it, and I got to a point where, you know what, if things don't change, if I don't change, I'm done, I'm quitting. I cannot keep this pace up. So I got some help, and the first thing we realized was I'm getting bogged down in the admin. Now, as much as I taught myself things like MyOb back then, taught myself how to use MyOb, how to use Word, how to use Excel, how to build spreadsheets, I taught myself all these things, right? And, which is all good and well, but it wasn't my expertise. And then by thinking about it, if we brought in a bookkeeper that was an expert at doing that stuff, not only could do it twice as fast as me, they do it twice as accurate. But it's massive fear around bringing someone into the business. This is me personally, massive fear bringing them into the business, and they'd see the books and they would think, what's this guy doing? He's got no idea what he's doing. Like, I had all this judgment, all this bullshit, that someone would see something that I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just making this crap up, which I was. But you get to a point, and ideally you want to get to this point quicker, that it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Because I had enough, so it didn't matter. So I brought someone on, but I made a mistake. I mistook delegation for abdication. So when they came in, I was so relieved, gave them all the books, all the folders, because all manual, computer, the password, how to log in, how to use where my and all the passwords like that, all that sort of stuff. And I walked away. But I didn't set clear processes or guidelines. I didn't have an expectations. I didn't have an outcome, and I didn't review it. Now, if you were to do that in your painting component of your business, it would go pear-shaped. So I did that in the admin component, and it went pear-shaped. But my lesson there was, and for most part, when I talk to business owners that try to get someone in admin and they stuff it up, the first thing most of them say is, I shouldn't have done that. Better off doing it myself. No one's going to do it better than me. That's a cop-out. Sorry, that's a cop-out. Because the reality is, what I learned was, I didn't set clear expectations. I didn't have clear guidelines or a basic process. I didn't have an outcome, specific outcome that I wanted, and I didn't review. That was my fault. Now what we're talking about is leadership and personal responsibility. You have to take responsibility for the results in your business. And that was my fault. I can't abdicate or delegate the responsibility of running the business to this person without guidelines and outcomes. So I went back again, with a different set of eyes, expensive learning experience, and that's how we learn from learning experiences, taking action and making a decision. Got someone else in, far more expertise, had to pay a little bit more, but very clear guidelines and expectations of what I needed. Boom, off and running. All of a sudden, I'm on a different chain of events. From 2008 to where we are, 2020 now, I don't do any of that anymore. I've had two people. I had Julie for a couple of years, and now I've had Angela. This is her 11th year now. So we're over 10 years now. Ange runs all of our admin, all of our back end. Better than I could ever do. And I could focus for the last 12 years building the business, building the teams, working on sales and marketing, becoming more efficient on site, building relationships with clients. Because in business, and I've shared this many times before, in our painting businesses, and remember, I built a painting business and I still own a painting business. I'm not talking from the perspective of, once upon a time I had a painting business, or, you know what, I used to have a tiling business, or I had a landscaping business, or I got a plumbing business. No, I built a painting business and I still run a painting business. So I'm talking to you from actual today real world experience. And the ability to delegate clearly that admin role, so I could work specifically on the two areas that make money in business, and they are sales and marketing. Everything else is the expense in our business. Everything is an expense. For accountants out there, you're going to say to me that marketing is an expense, marketing done shit is an expense, marketing done right has an ROI as an investment. That's my take from running a painting business. I'm not talking from an accountant perspective, I'm talking from a painting business owner perspective. So, the longer and the more consistently we can work on relationships, sales, marketing, building efficiencies, the quicker we're going to get to our business goals. If we keep working hard doing those things over a long period of time, when I say long, the reality is successful businesses are built between 7 and 12 years. Any shorter, you haven't had the learning experience or had enough time to build the relationships, have consistency. Now, when I say consistency, I'm talking about having a business that's lasting 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades. So, there is a way around it, guys. I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm saying just think about, take a step back and think about where can I use leverage in my business to give me back my time to work on the critical areas that make a significant difference. Because I'm telling you now, checking invoices isn't going to is not a critical task in your business for you to do. Sales, marketing, finishing jobs on time or budget. They're the top three. Without the first two, the rest doesn't exist anyway. So, my leg is killing me. Stay cool, be well, delegate, don't abdicate. See you in 20. Bye.